يا هلا voice, connecting the Arab voice global.
He is the one, the only, the BAWB, joining us. Hello, voice.
When a recovering Islamophobe talks.
This is to pay a compliment, so I've got to convert to Islam, and I've got to go with a satchel of money, apparently, to Ramallah jewelers.
Absolutely.
BAWB and the friends.
Now, all of a sudden, you have Americans and you have Europeans coming in and moving in to Israel on what's called the right of return, where they're given a free right of return. They didn't grow up there. They didn't live there. They didn't live there 20 years ago. Now they live there.
Bob,
and they moved in there from Europe, and they're given the right of return. What happened to the Palestinians that lived there?
يلا باب انزل على الدبكة.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of Bob and Friends here at Yahala Voice. I am so thankful for being here. As you probably hear, the news reading into this segment would cause a Southwest airline plane to be grounded. But, you know, I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to build bridges to hopefully get people away from the idea and away from their fears. And on the line as with me is my good friend, Rhonda. Rhonda, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Hey, how was your trip to Palestine?
It was great. I am very excited that I went and I was able to run that and then come back safely. So that was fun.
You know what? It's so outstanding. For those people who don't know, Rhonda is a heart and soul in many ways of Team Palestine and PCRF and what they do for PCRF. And she went over with a team of some 50 runners. And there was just 50 from the U.S., right? So it was 17 men.
No, there were 53 in total, and they were from all over. We had people from Hong Kong, people from Dubai, Jordan. There was, I think, there was some issue with some visas with the Jordanians, but I think we ended up getting a couple from Jordan. We've got people from the United States. The majority was the United States. We had people from South Africa.
Strong
actually, the winner of the marathon
South Africa. Yep.
was from South Africa, yeah. And he was Mervyn Steenkamp, and he is a PTRF volunteer, or not volunteer, he's a PTRF, volunteer for the Cape Town chapter. He's not a doctor or anything. He does run, and he basically creates awareness, pretty much how Team Palestine does. And he won the entire marathon in 2 hours and 35 minutes. The full marathon.
Insane. Absolutely insane that
Isn't
somebody
that
could
crazy?
run a flat course alone. Okay, first of all, running at that clip is amazing. That's world class time. Everybody has to recognize that. That is,
I think it was a PR for him. It was a personal record for him. So for him, that's the fastest he's ever run a marathon. And I thought it was hilarious because that is a mean course. It is not an ezy course.
I hear it's
you
just
are
brutal.
used to running in the Midwest, and that's what you're used to, and you're also training, I trained with a few people, and it was winter. And so there's times I'm bundled up, and I'm literally wearing a long sleeve along with a running jacket that is not thin, and I have a neck warmer, I have a hat on, you have your long pants. Sometimes you'll have two pairs of pants because it's 10 degrees Fahrenheit here. And then you go and it's 65 degrees, 70 degrees in Bethlehem.
Great.
And it's hilly. It's, there's no snow on the ground. There's nice sun.
Wow, and it had to be incredible. It had to be incredible running through those streets, though. I mean, how meaningful was that to be like? And I hear that part of the course goes along the wall for a while.
It was cool. You know what? I didn't really get to experience Bethlehem like I did running the course. I thought I saw some really cool, we took a tour the day before, but I thought I get to see Bethlehem as a citizen as opposed to a tourist because that people walk through all day, every day. And so they're not, there's nothing, cool or different about these streets to the locals because they live there.
Right.
So for me, I feel like I'm walking the path of just everybody that lives there. You know, you're walking the path of Jesus in a way, because that's where
but they talk about that with
stomping
Christians
grounds a few thousand years ago.
Yeah, but they talk about that with Christians when they come back and they have like this changed almost mentality. It's some kind of what do they call it? It's like a Jesus effect or something, to know that you were on the same ground to which he was. And then, you know, I mean, for you, you know, okay, Bethlehem, yeah, whatever, you know, and for us, it's like, you know, oh, that's his birthplace, you know, I mean,
no, for me, I was the same thing. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I mean, if you know anything about history, that no matter what religion you are, that should be, with the exception of atheists, I think people that believe or understand or know anything about the religion would feel in awe. I just thought it was so cool that, you know, like I said, Jesus was walking down these streets, and there was all this history, and there was all these stones and rocks that existed when he existed, and then it existed another, you know, 600 years ago with the Prophet Muhammad. And it's like, you know, because Islam is a lot younger than Christianity. It was just, to me, it's a matter of this is the road that all three major religions took part, you know, whether it was Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. And for me, I just thought that was really, really, really cool. You know, I can't say I'm a devout anything, because I'm not, but it's pretty awesome. You know, it's like, hey man, Jesus has a lot of stories in Palestine. And so even from Jericho, I was mentioning to Greg, I was like, oh, we're gonna be in Jericho when we cross the border. And he's like, so? And then I'm telling him, well, that's where Joshua fought the battle, you know, of Jericho. What's wrong with you? What do you mean, so? And everybody's looking at him like, yeah, so what do you mean, so?
How was it? Because you went over there with your husband, your new husband, and
he's
pretty
not
much
my fiancé anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
He might get me in trouble.
Okay, no, I'm trying to figure out who married you. Oh, I did. Anyway, so you guys went over there together, and he got to like meet your family. I mean, you had some family here at the wedding and a ton of friends, but when he got over there, he got to meet the family, right? So I mean, like every day you were meeting like different members of the family in different location, and that had to be wonderful for him.
He was just like halfway through the trip. I think Bethlehem was actually a vacation from the family, because every single day, at least that's how it felt for me, and I was grateful for it, because every single day so the big meal is lunch, and we would have to go to lunch at somebody's house. And so he's meeting at least 10 or 15 people. And, you know, in the States, I'm not the kind of person, I'm one of the very few Arabs that don't say, this is my cousin, because I don't have many family members here. And so of course, I claim my cousins here that are literally my cousins, but the ones that aren't, I don't go, yeah, this is my family, this is my family. I always say this person is like a family member to me, but I never say this person is family, just because I feel like I'm disrespecting my family overseas. So when we go overseas, and he knows this about me, and we go overseas, I'm like, okay, this is my cousin, and this is my cousin's son, and this is my cousin's granddaughter, and this is my aunt, and this is my great aunt. So everybody he's meeting, even if it's a distant relative, they're literally relatives of mine. And so we get back, and he's just like, Rhonda has a huge family. She has nobody here, but she has the biggest family I've ever seen, and he has not even met all of them yet.
Oh, that's funny.
It was hard to meet everybody. But there were plenty of people he still has yet to meet. And, you know, I have cousins that have their own families with like 8 kids or 6 kids or 4 kids or 3 kids. And so that extends where he doesn't have that.
Oh, no way. And see, this is what's so funny.
Only one of his cousins has a kid, and that's it. You know?
Greg has a family tree. You have a family forest. It's like, you know, he got to meet part of the forest. He got to wander into part of the forest. So
he only covered maybe, I don't even know, like an eighth of the forest. He didn't really cover a lot of it.
That is wild. But overall,
but he was having such a ball in Bethlehem. He just loved it. He, you know, for somebody that doesn't really, it didn't really have a connection to it. He didn't really know too much about what was going on, just because he just didn't know that,
Right.
you know.
And maybe
really
that's a good
tough,
thing.
and
Maybe that's a good thing to go in with a clean slate. You know, I mean, just go with a clean slate and see what it's like. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And whatever he learned, it was from me. And he did his own research. And so he would see, you know, he and I are both the same. We both look at media from both ends. We try to stay as objective as possible. But, you know, from what he took, and then he was sitting in that land, and we went to Jerusalem, and we were able to go see a Greek Orthodox church where Jesus was a prisoner. He was held prisoner there. It kind of took him to heart. You know, when you go to a religious center, and some religious places connect with you,
right.
That religious place connected with him quite a bit. And I actually went into the Aqsa Mosque. He wasn't able to go, and that's another long story. He got to experience racism against him there. So.
Was he not even allowed on the grounds? Was he not even allowed in Al-Aqsa, the compound or whatever?
No, he's not allowed to.
Wow.
Apparently, you have to be only a Muslim. And so, actually, one of my other team members, Lena Hussein, she said to me at one point, you need a marriage certificate to prove that you two are married if you're not going to change your name, because I've yet to change it.
Right.
And so, you know, I went in and said, you know, they're like, well, you know, he's not a Muslim, so he can't go in. So we go to another gate, and they're asking me, you know, is he a Muslim? And I go, yeah. And so he goes, well, does he know Arabic? And I said, no. And he goes, well, he's not a true Muslim then, because he doesn't know Arabic, and it's against the religion to read the Quran outside of a different language from Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know. They said to him, like, well, he doesn't understand it, so we can't let him in. And these people that were at the door are Israeli policemen, but they're Arab Israelis. And so it was just, you know, my aunt was getting very upset. I was just like, what proof do you need? Here's a rock on my hand. Does that, you know, give you any proof of him and I being married? I don't think he's going to want to hang out with me. And I'm with my aunt who's covered, and she's kind of like, hey, you know, why don't you let him in? How do you know who's a true Muslim and who's not a true Muslim? You know, there's a lot of people that know Arabic and they don't know anything about Islam. And I guess and it was funny because I would fall into that category.
But what's interesting about that is that, I mean, as far as that aspect goes, I can see why from a security standpoint, if you don't have somebody that's
Israelis going in there,
you got it. That's exactly it. You don't want settlers coming in there and going, oh yeah, I'm Muslim. And that's pretty much where, this Intifada, a lot of people say it's been going on since 2002, so 14 years. What kind of triggered that was when Yitzhak Rabin, I think Ariel Sharon was walking among the steps of something Muslim out there, and then they were starting to throw rocks at him. And so that's when everything pretty much started going haywire. It is.
That's when,
that is when the election was going on in Israel.
Yeah.
And at the time, Barak was he was the prime minister, and he was working out a deal. And they had just about come to a deal with Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat had even gone over to his house the night before, and they had the negotiators there, and they had. I mean,
do you not know anything about this? This is insane.
And they had dinner the night before, and he said, if you can't stop this, because it was a whole political stunt on his part. It was Sharon was doing this political stunt, so he decided to go see what was going up on the steps and went up Al-Aqsa Mosque, and he took 1,000 guards with him, IDF soldiers with him, and went up there, and he gets up there, and he's like, I come here as a man of peace. Right. You go there and don't call that incitement. That is absolutely ridiculous. You know, that's in there. Yeah. Hey, you know what? We've got to continue this conversation when we can. And I want to bring you back on if you can. So if you can, I want you to come in studio because I want to see pictures. I want to talk about it. And then afterwards we have to go out.
We'll post some pictures on Bob and Friends Facebook. But unfortunately I wasn't able to come in because I've have a couple weeks of vacation work to catch up on. So.
yes, you do.
Sorry.
All right, so when you can. Next week I'm going to have a great show with some kids in here talking about what it's like to be an America and American child and the school thing. But I'm so proud of you, Rhonda, and all the work you do for PCRF and everything you do. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Support. Thank you very much.
I'm looking
for all
for
your...
Saturday, right? I'm going to see you Saturday for the Gaza run.
Yes, we'll be there. Team Palestine will also be there. We'll be signing people up for the Run for Peace that day. There's a specific price, a special price that we're handing out to people. So
awesome.
If you are going to go to the UNRWA 5K run in Lincoln Park, you will see a table for Team Palestine there, and we will be signing people up, and you will see team members. We have a whole slew of people coming out running with this UNRWA 5K. UNRWA is such a great organization, and so if you have not registered for this, they have 20 spots left. And you know what?
They're down to the last 20?
You haven't registered. Yeah,
wow.
They're down to the last 20. So
that's awesome.
Even if they are not registered, just go, just support. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
so
I'm absolutely. I'll be there with flag in hand, ma'am. You will find me there.
There you go.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Rhonda. Always great having you on.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
That was Rhonda Mahmoud, my dear friend. Our phone number here always is 708-321-1313. Another event that is going on at the current time, or actually just wrapped up out in Atlanta, was an American Palestine church leaders got together at the Jimmy Carter Center out there, and they had an Atlanta church summit out there. And joining us on the line now, Amira Hanania from Palestine TV to tell us about it. Welcome, Amira.
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful.
Best regards to you and to your audience from Palestine. You know, we came to the summit with the church leaders of the Holy Land, and also with American churches leaders. And it was the first time this joint summit happened. It's a historic event. So, we are excited about it.
That is incredible. And it was at the Jimmy Carter Center. Did I see that right?
Yeah. It was in Jimmy Carter. I'm sorry because English language is not my mother tongue language, but I'm trying my best.
You are perfect. You are excellent. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you do a better job with the English language than I do, and it's supposed to be my native tongue. Okay, so
I hope so.
Just relax and have fun. It was in
Jimmy Carter Center, and actually President Jimmy Carter was in the last session, and he had a very excited speech in this session, telling because the title of this summit is Pursuing Peace and Strengthening presence for Christians in Palestine and Palestinians in general under the occupation. This conflict has been there for a long time, and Jimmy Carter was an icon for peace for the Palestinians and for the Arabs, of course. So the speeches were concentrating about this issue, and
they were fabulous. I was reading through the titles of some of them. They were absolutely fabulous. In what some of the titles were. I would any one of them. I would have paid money to go to any one of them, and they all seemed just absolutely fantastic. I mean, and there were at least I saw were there 7 or 8 leaders from churches that came over from Palestine.
6 leaders, actually.
Okay,
all the leaders for all the churches, the big churches in the Holy Land were there. And they came to be more committed and to, the voice for Palestine to be heard in this summit. And, the speeches was for the leaders. They actually now fly to Washington D.C. They're gonna send deliver a letter, formal letter from them themselves to Minister John Kerry and to the White House, telling them about the situation in Palestine and asking them to pay or to do much more role in pursuing peace and doing what they should do to protect the Palestinians, especially, about the incidents that's been happening there. Security is a big issue now for the Palestinians, as a priority. So the voice of peace must be heard, and rescuing the two-state solution should be done now, or we're going to lose it forever.
I think you're absolutely right. On the line with us, Amira Hanania from Palestine TV. She is in the United States right now, down in Atlanta at the Jimmy Carter Center, where they just concluded a summit with church leaders from both Palestine that came up from Palestine, as well as church leaders from the different church communities here within the United States. They had this awesome summit on creating peace in there. It sounds very much, and if you would like to join the conversation, 708-321-1313, extension 1. Amira, I mean, it had to be powerful. It had to be the conclusion with Jimmy Carter there giving a great, like you were saying, a very emotional and compassionate speech about paying attention to human rights. I mean, it's gone on. You're absolutely right. It's gone on for far way too long. This sounds very similar to another kind of similar effort that was the Kairos movement. Are you familiar with that one as well?
Kairos is also included in this, of course. But this is the first time, the leaders of the churches, Holy Land churches, with the American churches ever been met in one summit and one place. And a place of Jimmy Carter Center is something else. Mm-hmm. Besides, now we are talking about, we are trying to, Atlanta has a symbol thing much more important than other places, because it's the place where Martin Luther King were born, and he defeated the racism against the black people. Mm-hmm. Now we are defeated racism against Palestinians.
Absolutely.
And we are trying to raise this issue up and to tell the American, please, please, please do whatever you can do to stop the insanity that's been happening with the Israeli government, and to end this occupation and give us the right to determine our future.
It is absolutely the right thing to do on so many levels in going there and doing that. Let me ask you this. As you're part of Palestinian TV, how was it covered by the U.S. media? How was this historic event between meeting church leaders?
Yeah,
I mean, they should have all been there. I'm assuming the streets are lined with all the TV cameras that are there.
Right.
Are they there?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you absolutely right. I feel disappointed actually, because we sent media invitation for many TV stations such as CNN, Fox News, Reuters, Associated Press. Nobody showed up.
Amira, one thing I have to correct you on right away. I understand that you sent the notifications out to news agencies. Fox is not a news agency. They are. So you sent them out to.
I got you.
You might as well have sent it to Comedy Central, okay, as well as sending it to them. All right.
You are.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I digress.
Because that's right. But that what Carter Center gave us a list of
sure.
News agencies. We tried to reach the locals, and for instance, CNN regional office is only 5 minutes away from Carter Center, and they did not show up.
Oh, is that
only
unbelievable?
5 minutes drive. It's insane.
It is absolutely insane, and that is in itself a whole other issue that a whole other summit could be held about how that you've got these historic people coming together, religious leaders talking about peace, and where are the cameras? Not to be found.
No cameras. It's only Palestine TV where that.
Right. So if you wanted to talk about violence, if you wanted to talk about, if one of those people got out there, and God forbid, one of those people got out there and said, "Death to Israel," you'd have every camera there on it and focused on it.
That's right.
But when they come out and say, you know what, we want peace and equality between all humans in that area, crickets. There's no media around. And folks, that is part of the that's big
weird,
part of the problem right there.
Because journalism, it's not about that.
Sure.
Journalism, and it's not all about being biased. It's not fair.
It's not fair.
In a place that calls for peace and justice. it's the only two words that have been rapidly said in this summit. And it's not been heard for the media. I was disappointed.
I went through and I look at these, the solidarity and everything they're doing, and every, you're right. Almost every single topic in here had the word peace in there, peace and justice, almost all the way through. And where were the people to cover this? I mean, I would love to see the coverage of it. I know you're going to be covering it well. And you know what? Thanks for coming over, and thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Greatly appreciate it.
But to say a word of truth, many of the churches, American churches leaders, say wonderful speeches about really what the truth is. And they were really happy hearing that from the Palestinian leaders and the church leaders, and from the, we've been, the delegation we have also, Minister of Tourism were with us, and the Mayor of Bethlehem, our ambassador in the UN, Dr. Riyad Mansour, were there, and also our ambassador in the Vatican, Dr. Elisa Castilla, were there. So we were, in a high-profile people were talking there.
Yeah.
And also the American churches, leaders, and the
UCC, Lutheran, Methodist, Episcopalian, the Catholic, the Orthodox, they all were there.
Yeah, and they really, what I can say it in English, like they give a very interesting attitude, hearing the other side story, because they've been for a long time hearing the one story that Israel was telling them.
Amir, this is what we do here every day, that we try to share the story from a different perspective. And when it happens, it slowly happens. And when it does, you get Americans that wake up. And when they wake up, they finally realize they can't look at it and then look away. We actually have to do something about it.
It affects them.
Yes, it does.
In some way or another, it affects the Americans.
Going back
if they did not wake up now, they're going to lose it a lot.
Yeah, going back to what you said at the beginning of this, it's very similar, down there in Atlanta, right around the corner from where Martin Luther King was, and his statement that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So if we don't pay attention to the injustice that's going on in Palestine, it will spread itself to everywhere. And we've got to stand up, and you're absolutely right. It's time to stand up. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And all respect to what you are doing there in Hala Radio. And
you met Riyad out there in Atlanta. I understand Riyad was out there at this conference as well. He's our station manager
right. Riyad
out there.
Is a wonderful person. He was very supportive.
The proud new papa. Make him show you pictures of his new baby. Absolutely darling. had to take the good looks from his mother, because obviously did not follow him.
Oh my God! Come on, he's so sweet.
Absolutely, Amir. Thank you so much. We'll talk again
You're
soon,
welcome.
and thank you for all you do.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You know what? That's the kind of stuff we do here at Yahala Voice. You're not going to hear that anywhere else. Anywhere else. I don't care where you go. You're not going to hear that kind of bridge building stuff going on. So thank you very much for listening here at Yahala Voice. And don't forget to support our sponsors. And we'll be back right after this break.
Yahala Voice. Ashiana Banquets, well known for their beautiful rooms, superior service, and great food. For all your special occasions, call Ashiana Banquets. We will take care of your wedding, engagement, henna parties, bridal shower, baby shower, or corporate events. Reserve today at 630-964-7090. 630-964-7090. Ashiana Banquets has easy parking and seats up to 900 guests comfortably.
اتصل على أشيانا Banquets واحجز لجميع مناسباتك. 1620 75th Street in Downers Grove, Illinois.
Mankaris Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. أحسن شيء إنه عنده برنامج خاص للعرب والمسلمين بدون فوائد. يعني 0% فوائد. هذا غير إنهم بيحكوا عربي وعندهم جميع أنواع السيارات جديد ومستعمل. مانكريز في أوكلاند على استعداد إنهم يوفروا لك التقسيط حتى إذا أنت جاي من البلاد جديد ولسه ما عندك كريدت، أو إذا في عندك مشاكل بالكريدت هم بيعملوا كل جهدهم ليحلوها. هذا غير العروض الخاصة لمستمعين يا هلا فويس. إذا حبيت سيارة خدها لفة وجربها وبعطوك $25 كارد حتى لو ما بدك تشتريها. مانكريز 4630 West 95th Street in Oakland, Illinois. 888-631-9187. الرقم مرة تانية 888-631-9187.
Hi, I'm Frank Mancari. I will be at the dealership every day to guarantee you will pay while we pay. And you will drive home today.
Man carries the one.
Risha Printing is the best spot for all your printing needs. We specialize in graphic design, banners, channel letters, lighted box signs. Everything from business cards and wedding invitations to t-shirts and car wraps can all be found at Risha. We would like to announce our collaboration with Pristine Line Media Productions, who will provide audio and video services for all occasions, such as weddings, special events, and commercials. Visit our showroom in Bridgeview. Call us at 708-233-6688 to place an order or speak with a Pristine Line representative to learn more about our wedding video packages. For more information, visit trishaprinting.com and pristineline.com.
I will earn my degree.
I will persevere.
I will be unstoppable.
What will you do? Come to Moraine Valley Community College and we'll help you fill in the blank. Moraine Valley is located in Palos Hills, Illinois. Get hands-on training to prepare for today's hottest jobs or earn the first 2 years of your bachelor's degree. Convenient class times and affordable tuition let you reach your personal and professional goals on your schedule and within your budget. Register now at morainevalley.edu, and so you can say,
I will achieve my goals.
I will achieve my goals.
I will achieve my goals. حلويات نابلس، جميع أنواع الحلويات العربية، كنافة، حلاوة جبن، مدلوقة، ليالي لبنان، عش سرايا، حلبة، عوامة، غريبة، هريسة، بقلاوة. حكيت كنافة؟ طبعا كنافة. ومش بس هيك، لا، في حلويات نابلس بنجيب الجبنة النابلسية من البلاد كل 45 يوم، وعجينة الكنافة بنعملها هون، مش بس بنشتريها جاهزة زي المحلات التانية. حلويات نابلس بإدارة أبو رامي والطبخ الشيف السوري محمد زياد على استعداد إنهم يعملوا الكنافة قدامك في بيتك أو في أي مكان بتختاره لمناسباتك السعيدة. حلويات نابلس، هارلم and 83rd في Bridgeview. Order online today at nablissweet.com for second day delivery. We have sugar-free sweets.
حلويات نابلس، تعالوا ذوق طعم البلاد.
يا هلا فويس, connecting the Arab voice global.
And we're back with the world's greatest bridge buildings program anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world, I'll say, and it's right here at Yahala Voice. It's right here at Bob and Friends. This is where on a regular basis, we're out there trying to build bridges and trying to figure out, how do we live on this big mud ball together? It's pretty easy. Anyway, during the break, Riyadh sent me a text and saying what a good job I did with the interview. And by the way, his little one takes the good looks from him. He's trying to take claim for the good looks. Yeah, we'll debate about that. Anyway. On the line with us, my buddy, Rush. How are you, man? I gotta give you props. You called it.
Thank you, Bob. I don't know what. Sometimes let me tell you something, Bob. Let me get right to it. Who are we kidding here? I'm gonna just say it, and I know you've got your little Bernie lovers out there.
Oh, they're there.
I've said this many times before. Is that the problem with a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters, the feel the burn people out there?
Yep.
It's good to support your guy, but you have to face reality. And I've said it a long time ago. I admit he was competitive. He was a formidable candidate. But I said, look, you could support him, and that's great. And I liked Bernie, but he's not going to win.
And
the problem is people they start calling all these bad names to Hillary. You know, they call her Hitler, and Hitlery is what people are calling her now.
There's a lot of that.
You know, people need to realize that she is the next president of the United States. I'm not kidding, Bob. She's the next president of the United States.
I don't disagree with that.
And the Arab and Muslim community need to figure out ways to lobby the Hillary Clinton administration. We need to start now. You know, we know where her allegiances are at this point. You know, we know that she is pro-Israeli. She's doing everything she can to appease to the AIPAC world. And I think the Arab and the Muslim community need to start strategizing as to how to engage Hillary to go back to the friendlier years with her husband Bill in the early 90s during the Palestine Peace Accord and start trying to get her to start speaking that type of tone.
Well, the one that bugs me to no end is the anti-BDS. That element of her that she equates BDS with terrorism, that's got to end. That's got to stop.
I could not agree with you more. Look, Bob, let's say Bob is running for president. I know that is a very scary thought. I totally agree with you. You don't have to say anything about that. Very, very scary.
I wouldn't vote for myself for dog catcher, but let alone president.
You being a competitor that you are, you want to win. And here you have this political base of $30 to $40 to $50 million, even more. Like, what are we talking about? Hundreds of millions of dollars. You just want a piece of that pie.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you're going to sit with these people. They're going to tell you, point for point, what needs to be said. And there you have a choice. You know, you're running a little bit low on funds, and you know they're going to keep your bank account nice and healthy. And now you have a choice. Now, Bernie Sanders, respectfully, has passed on that, which I respect. I think that's great. Hillary Clinton, who had a horrific defeat in 2008, horrible, President Obama, just rocked her. So she's going to do whatever means necessary to win.
And
believe it or not,
whatever
Bob,
means.
I respect that.
All right, and some of those may not have been so ethical. You've got a huge chunk of people saying that there were issues at the voting machines. And we're gonna just completely. Where's the proof right now that it's Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton's staff that was behind that? All right, good. That's a great point. I'm just saying, where's the proof? I'm telling you, there is no.
You and your Bernie boys and girls. I'm sorry, Bob, but they're out of touch. They're sore losers, and you know what? Come to think about it, you're kind of a sore loser too.
Oh, I'm a pathetically sore loser. I cheat whenever I can.
See, you make it difficult for me when you do that. And argue with me.
I totally agree with you. I am the worst cheater in the world. Are you kidding me? I fully agree with it. With by the way,
I have one more bone to pick with the Arab and Muslim community who are all going Bernie Sanders crazy.
Yeah,
is that I'm going to say about 95% of the people in the Arab and Muslim community that are all going Bernie wild.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to think. You didn't jump on the Bernie bandwagon until February, March of this year. 2-3 months ago, you started feeling the burn.
Yeah, and why was that? Why was that?
Well, why was that? Because Bernie wasn't a mainstay. He wasn't mainstream. But if you followed the political system and you were always engaged in U.S. politics, you would have been able to say, you know what, let's get Bernie out right now. Let's start the grassroots campaign the way Hillary Clinton started her campaign a year and a half ago. And no, what did they do? They all waited for the last minute to jump on the Bernie bandwagon. And yes, when they all jumped on, great progress is made. But this is the problem with the Arab Muslim community. A reactive society.
No, Nobody knew to back Bernie. Nobody did. And my favorite poster was Weekend at Bernie's, you know, where they prop up this old guy who in that case was already dead, you know, and it was Biden and him propping up. Nobody in the establishment would run against Hillary because, you know what? It's her time, you know, and so everybody was bugged by that. So then when Bernie came along, I honestly don't think that people jumped onto Bernie because he's this great guy and he's everything else. They jumped onto him.
I disagree.
No, wait a minute. They jumped onto him because he was not Hillary. That essentially is what his tag is. He's not Hillary. He's not the establishment.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing. All I'm saying is, you're right. Bernie comes across, and I think he is, I'm not taking it away, comes across as a stand-up guy. There's no doubt about.
Absolutely.
He has what I call that genuine human touch. We've been waiting and hoping for somebody like that to come. I'm totally with you on that. Policy-wise, I'm just saying it's something that we all want to see that in our politicians. Somebody who has a human touch.
And
he does. I think that's great.
Yeah.
The problem is, if you want somebody to win, the process starts much earlier. And I think too many people jumped on the Bernie bandwagon a little too late and rallied too late. People are rallying in the last 5-6 weeks. After Michigan is when the Arabs and the Muslims all started rallying, and a lot of people did. And that's too late.
You tell me that race in her own home state was going to be that close. Well, it's not her home state. It's where she carpetbagged
think it was
to.
that close? It wasn't that. She won by about 15%.
Yeah, I think even more than that now.
It
was like 15 last night. It's like
well.
17 or something, 17 or 18 today.
Yeah, I told you, and you know what? I know we get into this I told you so type deal.
Right.
When we talked last week, I said Trump would win by a lot. Yeah. Hillary would win by a respectable margin. You thought it was going to be the opposite.
Absolutely. You called.
And the reason why I knew she wasn't going to be able to crush Bernie is because, Bernie, the wheels aren't turning for him. He's getting a lot of people are coming out. A lot of people in New York and New York City came out for him. And it just said again, the support and that train started too late. They needed to start like a year and a half ago, like they did for Hillary Clinton.
And I've got to give you props. You called it exactly right. You called it that Bernie or that Trump was going to win with 60%, and I said there's no way. He sure did. And you said that Hillary wasn't going to win with 60%, and I thought she was. I thought she was going to go over 60%. I thought it was going to be 65-35 is where I really thought she was going to she was going to crush him. In New York.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Hey, I thought she was going to win Illinois. Luckily you didn't ask me how Illinois was going to go.
Boy, that was almost a split, wasn't it?
I thought that she would win by at least 10% because of her Illinois roots.
I thought more.
And it came down to it came down like, was it 1 or 2% difference?
It came out down to 30,000 votes.
It was down to the wire.
Yeah.
So Bernie, listen, here's a deal. And I know again, all your Bernie buddies don't want to hear this. The question now is the best thing. I don't know if this is best for Bernie, but the best thing Hillary Clinton can do is start talking to the Bernie people about him being her vice president candidate.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea, but I don't think it's a good idea because she needs somebody that can deliver Florida for her.
I see what you're saying, but I think she's going to win. I'm not saying because I'm not that big of a Hillary fan, but I don't think. I really do think if it's her against Trump, she's going to win by a pretty comfortable margin this presidential race, which her biggest problem is too many people, especially in the Democratic base, they don't like Hillary.
Well,
they think she is evil. They're calling her, it's not Hillary. It's Hillary, something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane. A lot of people think she's evil, and there's one person right now, that can now cover her horns, and that will be Bernie Sanders. Now, don't get me wrong. I will laugh if this happens. If Bernie Sanders becomes her running mate, I will laugh. I'm sorry. I know it's rude. I will laugh at all the Bernie lovers who absolutely crushed Hillary Clinton and put Bernie on the pedestal of goodness. But yet there he is. He's going to join the evil empire of Hillary Clinton. If that happens, I'm sorry. Your posse, your crew that you hang with, I'm going to laugh at him internally.
Actually, I think Bernie Sanders would be an excellent choice as VP. I really do. If there was some way that he could deliver Florida, if he could bring that unity and bring those people back in and make it one big happy tent, I think that would be awesome. The other thing I heard floated and want to get
bring in Bernie. Bring in Bernie, she wins. You don't understand, man. The Bernie train is hot.
The Bernie train's hot. Yep, and she should be talking about it. Yep, I agree with you. It's hot, but they still need Florida to win. The path goes through Florida and Ohio, Rush. Those are the two things they need to win. Now, on the flip side of this, the other one I heard floated this week that I think has potential is a Trump cruise ticket.
I'm telling you, a Trump cruise, which I could see that as well. But if Trump is willing to let bygones be bygones, I would talk to Rubio because you want to get
the Florida
somebody.
Yeah.
If we're serious about Florida, the question is that the worst thing that ever happened to Rubio was staying in the race, waiting for Florida, because his stock dropped terribly.
Okay,
it's kind of tough for Trump to call Rubio and say, "Hey, even though I kicked your butt in your own home state, but I'd like for you to win Florida."
But that's what I'm saying is that Trump carried Florida over Rubio. He did not carry Ohio over Kasich. I think Kasich would probably be the better choice.
You're exactly right. If we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of, I'm going to choose a vice presidential candidate based on a state they're going to win, a key state, gets Kasich all the way. Kasich is also more of that hard line. He has I think he connects better than Rubio.
Oh, clearly.
I think right now Kasich is the way to, honestly, Kasich's the way to go. I think Cruz is a big mistake.
You know what? I agree. I don't like Cruz, but if you get that ticket there, it's way too extreme.
Ticket.
But the Trump Kasich would be a good ticket.
Trump Kasich would be a very good ticket, and I could see that happening.
And a Hillary Bernie ticket would be an excellent ticket. That's probably where the race is going to be.
It's got an all-star feel to it.
You know what? You are a heck of a prognosticator. I think that, I think we're onto something there. I think that's going to be really awesome. And
the question is this. Here's what it's going to come down to, and it's a simple one. Number one, is Bernie Sanders, is he kind of like a sore loser, bitter that he lost to Hillary? I just don't think he's that type of guy. That's number one.
No,
but here's the big number two. The big number two is this. Bernie Sanders base. I'm telling you, the backlash he will get for going and jumping on the Hillary Clinton train could be trouble. I don't know if he cares about that.
Nope. I don't see that as trouble at all. I think that is absolutely part of his character. He is. I think that
could be true.
And I think that's the way he was up front.
One speech, you're right. One speech, he spins it as to why he's going with Hillary.
Right.
Because Hillary does believe in good. We believe in a better America. We believe in this. Whatever it is, he'll write a speech that'll flip the audience, his audience.
It may take a couple of times to get through, and some of the people will be. And you can't just automatically count. There's some people who just will have an aversion to voting for Hillary Clinton.
But it'll help. But Bernie, like I said, Bernie Sanders, he'll be able to cover her horns.
Absolutely. Hey, this weekend,
the way it is.
A little segue here, jumping over onto another thing. You, obviously working with Team Palestine in the capacity that you do as essentially a team captain, you are working on this documentary. But first off, this Saturday you're going to be emceeing the big race in Lincoln Park, correct? The Gaza 5K.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'll be very proud to be the race announcer for the Gaza 5K. It's the first time that UNRWA, United Nations, don't ask me the rest of the acronym, will be the ones who are hosting the event. PCRF, they do the medical treatment in Gaza. UNRWA, UNRWA, they handle a lot of the psychosocial aspect help that a lot of the children desperately need in Gaza. So they are our partners, and I hope a lot of people come out to run this race because I think sometimes, especially in a community that's still a little bit closed-minded, the Arab Muslim community, I don't think they understand that, it's not everything is based on losing limbs in the war in Gaza. The psychotraumatic disorders that so many children suffer from the bombs, explosions, bullets, losing loved ones, losing their homes. It's unbelievable, and we need this service badly. It's probably the most important thing we need right now in Gaza, and also, of course, even though it's a different aspect, but the children of Syria are also in desperate need of this help as well.
Absolutely, and that's going to be down at Lincoln Park. Down on this Saturday. Kicks off this Saturday, I think at 7:30.
Yeah, I believe the race starts at 9 a.m.
Okay.
So you definitely want to get there at 8. Get there an hour before. Do not show up at 9 because you'll miss the race. We have that happen all the time at Run for Peace. We tell everybody the race starts at 8 a.m. and they actually think that we're running on Arab Standard Time. They show up like at 8:45 and they come literally. The race is over and we're in the middle of the
8:30, folks. Get there at 8:30. If you want to get good parking, get there earlier. Okay. If you want to get there before me, get there at 6:30. Okay. Because this white boy.
Bob, or are you there to spectate?
You know what I'm going to be doing, my friend? I'm going to be working the PCRF booth, signing people up for the Run for Peace. And,
good man.
and
He's a good man, folks.
You know what?
I like the fact that you've actually morphed into an official member of Team Palestine.
You know what? I love Team Palestine. I love everything they do. I have loved everybody that I've ever met. I have never seen people with bigger heart. I have never seen, people with a stronger desire to go out and do things necessary to help other people. That's what I'm all about.
Can I tell you what I like about you, Bob, is that you're also very forgiving. I mean, think about this. We officially suspended you from the 7th annual Makluba Bowl, and here we are talking like
yes,
as
you
if
did.
It's okay.
I'm looking at they suspended me because of how I cheated last year. Yeah. So the competition committee got together, and I think it was all of Rush. If I was to guess who was on that competition committee. And Rush, and they suspended me.
No,
yes, for this year.
Distinguished panel of past bowling. We have a legends committee of the past Makluba Bowl champions, and it was a very tough vote.
Khaled,
Khaled Al-Khatib, yes, he is also one of the members. And yeah, for hours of deliberation, and that's what everybody voted, Bob. You're out.
I can't blame you guys. I can't. I would kick myself out. I mean, that was just. I am just the lowest, slimiest thing that ever lived.
I'll tell you why you're a slime ball. You're a slime ball because they won the awards.
Yes.
They flipped the Makluba.
Yes.
You actually danced with them as well. They were dancing. I mean, what the hell? And they were dancing. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
And and what was even worse is that I didn't tell you to the following Wednesday.
Yeah, you told me the next day.
Yeah, I told you the next day, but then yes, we let it out on the air.
And then you waited until Wednesday. I'm sorry. No, you're right. My bad. You're right. You told me right before the show. Oh, by the way,
wait a minute.
I cheated my tail off.
I had a double agent involved in this, right? He just got to it.
Who's that?
Khaled.
Unacceptable.
He knew the whole time what was going on. I was explaining to him what I was doing, that I was recruiting these people that was over there, that I found this guy who had 2 daughters that were both all-state bowlers, and you know what? It still blows me away that the 3 women on our team would have won. They would have won. They had like a 500-point thing or something. I don't know what it was. They were phenomenal.
Does it look like I'm laughing right now? Do you think this is a funny matter? This isn't funny. This is serious business.
Hey, how do other people besides me who's in suspension, how do they get involved with the Makluba Bowl? How do they support you in this documentary, this great documentary of crossing the line that is going to document all the wonderful work the Team PCRF is doing?
Well, we appreciate it, Bob. You know what? I hope everybody's on Facebook. Just look up the seventh annual Makluba Bowl, and you'll find the links to purchase tickets. We just want people to come, have a good time, and support our cause. I mean, that's really it. It's next Friday, April 29th. Check-in starts at 7 p.m., bowling at 7:30 p.m. at Orland Park. And it's just going to be a good time. $35 a ticket, $350 if you want to sponsor a lane. I mean, there's not much more I could say than that. And all proceeds go to the documentary. We went to Bethlehem. I keep wanting to call it Bethlehem because that's my Arab side. We went to Bethlehem. We got the Chicago Marathon. We're going to New York City. We plan on going to Africa to tell the story about Team Palestine and why we run. We're trying to send a message to the world that you can get the message of Palestine and the struggle of Palestine. We're going to do it with our legs. We're going to do it with running and not violence and not with heavy protest.
Hey, do the folks yet from the Palestine Film Festival, do they have a lane yet? Have they picked up a lane?
I did not approach them because
it's a little bit different
going on right now.
Yeah, they're big events.
Why don't you help me out and work your angle, man?
You know what? I will. I think actually I'll pledge to you right now that I'm going to support a lane for them. I can't compete, but I want them there. Because obviously that's a big part of it. In 2 years, we're looking at your target date is the Palestine Film Festival 2018 is when it'll be there.
It's going to be April 2018. I know so many people are like, why is it that long? But it's like,
it's tough, man.
It takes time.
And all the work that goes into this. This is a huge, huge, huge undertaking. Not only financial, but also all the additional time that's going into it and being put into it, and to do it right, crossing the line, is going to be a great documentary. I want in to support it in any way I can, Rush, because it's all about getting that message out there. And the great work you guys are doing, and the cancer treatment centers that you have both in Bethlehem. I understand you got that chance to tour there, and that had to be awesome. They're breaking the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Bob, think about it. If there was no cancer center, if somebody had cancer I know it sounds really sad, they would either die because they have no treatment, and that was the majority, or they have the resources, and most people don't, to find a permit to get out of the West Bank and seek help in like Jordan or Jerusalem. But a lot of people who don't have the money, don't have the connections, the children fall ill and they die. You know, and for people here in the United States, think about that. You know, here in America, you know, the worst case scenario, your child, God forbid, a child has cancer. There's so many different routes to get medical help for them. But imagine being told, sorry, you cannot leave your city to get help, to get medical help. Well, my son is going to die. My daughter's going to die. Well, that's not our problem.
Right.
I mean, what kind of life is that? Bob, I want to thank you, man. I appreciate all your support. And I know you're against the clock here, but thank you. Thank you for everything.
Absolutely, Rush, and I look forward to seeing you Saturday. And I hope you come on next week, too. I mean, we've got the Pennsylvania one, too, but I always enjoy
Bob, you're doing your show, right? Aren't you doing your show on location?
I will do it on location there. We'll tape a show. Next Wednesday's show here in Yahala Voice, it's going to be a special one. It really is, Rush. We're bringing in kids. We're bringing in students from all over, young teenagers, preteen that are going to be here and sitting in here. And we're going to talk about what they're experiencing as being Arab and Muslim kids and what they're experiencing in their school systems and
Great
what,
show, Bob.
what they're feeling.
Actually, you know what? I look forward to listening to that.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. And tonight, you know where you find me tonight? Moraine Valley Community College. They have a board directors meeting there tonight. I am going with hopefully one of the new people that may be throwing her hat into the ring for running for the board at Moraine Valley.
Yeah, do I know her?
You do. You do.
Can you tell me the name?
You know what? I don't know whether she's fully announced that I'm pushing her this direction. But absolutely, Shadden.
Oh, wow.
Shadden would
Very
be
nice.
a absolute perfect fit and that's the exact kind of thing that we're looking for, is somebody to step up and say that, you know what, I'll run for the board there. It is silly to me that Moraine Valley has 4 people named Murphy, and they don't have one Arab, yet that is one of the largest communities. I'll put the Irish community at Moraine Valley, which is probably about maybe 3%, versus the Arab community, which needs representation on that board. And that's what I want to see happen. Rush, you are my friend. Let's get people politically involved. Let's get people to rise up, because that's what this is all about, building bridges and rising up. And you, sir, have put me here in this chair, and I thank you very much for it.
Good man, Bob. Good stuff. We'll see you soon, brother.
Later. And folks, you know what? That's what it's all about here at Yahala Voice. I want to give thanks to everyone here, Reb, for setting everything up with Mira Hanania from Palestine TV, Rhonda, my good dear friend who I'll see on Saturday. Also, Khaled, thank you very much for running the board and all you do to help make the show efficient and nice. And folks, we'll look forward to seeing you all next week right here on Bob and Friends here at Yahala Voice.
والله وبنت تقول لميها يما بدي بيه 20 من اهل البلد 20 غربي 20 يم الحطب 20 للمي و20 يجيبوا الكحول تكحل عينيا الله
يا هلا فويس.
يا هلا فويس، الصوت العربي في أمريكا.